Burning tree stumps. Phase 6, Backyard Tree Removal. William Hovey Smith, 2012. I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, but we do other things in our backyard. Now here I am towing away the trunk of the tree from the stump itself so we could actually get a burn on it. And now I've cut the trunk in two so I can actually move it and get it safely away from the tree.
Well, as you can see, I have finally got that big section of trunk away from the stump. So now we're actually going to start burning it. And you can see how big it is in respect to the truck. Now that is a big hunk of wood, although it's altogether hollow and worthless for about anything except used for a critter shelter. So ultimately, I'll find somebody with a tractor to help me drag that out in the woods and just let the critters use it for exactly that. Well, we're now getting ready to do it. Yeah, stump burning. What you do? First off, the ground is wet. We just had rain last night, so it's good and damp out here. I just cut the grass around the stump down in here and around and between me and the truck, so there's no extra combustible material out here. What I'm going to do is load the stump with this dry pine from 3 more trees that I lost, as well as use this paper, which is slightly gasoline and oil soaked, as generally a fuse. This is going to go all the way down to the bottom of the stump, so it starts burning out from the center, ignites all this stuff, and then ultimately will burn the stump. This may take 2 days. I've already checked it out, so there are no critters down in here big enough to see. Rattlesnakes love these, by the way. Oh yeah, they do. They absolutely delight in living in stump holes like this. Fuel there always helps. And we are started. Move the excess stuff away. And we now officially have stump fire. To check on our stump, it's been going now for, I would say about 2.5 hours. And I've added some extra wood to it, and I'm about to load it up again. But it's starting to do exactly what I wanted it to do. You notice the outside there, how much space you can actually see. Some daylight through the stump already. Yeah, so it's completely burned through on that side now, and it's working on this other side. So I'm going to load it up again with some more wood and just let it sit here and burn away. It'll do just fine going in there. And wow, I mean, those are red hot coals. Yeah. Huh. For the first time, fire is actually broken through and is burning on the outside of the stump as well as on the inside. Yeah, it just caught up a little of the pine needles and small pine twigs that I had, but yeah, that's a good sign. Well, we filled the fire with some more billets of wood, and we'll just sit there and let it burn for the night, and it should do quite happily. Well, this is what a good slow stump burn looks like. Yeah, those coals down there are really, really hot. And, well, there's some aesthetic beauty about this. If you were going to sculpt something, or if you were going to do an abstract composition, well, I think this is pretty good. Well, I couldn't show you stump burning without actually showing you some at night. So yeah, here we are. It's still going away just as predicted. Midnight. And this is almost looking like the mouth of a fiery volcano. You can see parts of the stump have already collapsed on the inside, like this right here near me. And over on the other side, yeah, we are working through all of it. So by dawn, well, I suspect it will be fairly well collapsed on the inside. Well, it's morning, and how are we progressing with our stump burning? Well, pretty good actually. We've got a lot of it down. Some of it's still pretty solid. This is actually the last live pieces of the tree right here. So what I'm going to do is to put some leafy stuff in it to get the fire started up again. Although you see a lot of ash on top, I guarantee you there are red hot coals beneath here. And guess what we've got for fire starter? Well, you know, I've spent days burning up this tree and moving it, and the other limbs from the storm we had that brought the whole mess down. Well, I've got another limb that fell right over yonder, freshly, a couple of days ago. So I'm going to start cutting on it and put some of its small material down in this bowl and some more of my old cut wood, and we'll finish this up. It's really acting like it wants to rain out here a little bit, so I want to get this go ahead and started as quick as I can. It's starting to drip rain a little bit, but this extra thick layer of leaves I'm putting on the top will help actually protect the fire and let it get established down in the core of the stump. You can see it's starting to smoke very well on that back corner. Well, I do believe it has caught. All right. Now that is getting well started now. Now that the top burn is done, we pushed everything combustible back into the fire hole, and you can see now that, yeah, it's getting hot down in there again. And it's going to shortly start completing its job. Our rain has quit, and I've added some more fuel to the inside of the stump. And we did have some leaves blow out on the ground here. Now these leaves are hot and could have caught fire, except this grass is wet. And that's exactly why I'm continuing the burning of this stump today. We are now 12 hours into the stump burn, and it's looking pretty good. Now this side of the stump is just about gone. You can see this piece here has fallen into the middle of the burn, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. We're down to mineral soil here. Now to change the view of the stump a little bit, you can see the wood I've added up against those pieces that were still standing on the far side. And I just put in a fresh load that's caught fire. But this is green pecan after all, so it'll take it a while to get caught up. This burn pile is so small that on these limbs, I'm chopping them like you would chop thatch for a roof, in the sense that I'm making the fragments the same length, so that when I put them on the pile, they don't lap over and get out in the yard in the parts I don't want burned. Well, it looks like we're very close indeed to being done. There's not much left there. More fire it's wanting and more fire it's getting. So we are continuing. During the night we had rain, and so that put the fire out. But nonetheless, the stump is fairly well gone. You can see one piece of the bark there on the end, and that is about, say a foot high. And some of the unburned wood still in the pit. Well, we'll let things dry out and continue. And here we see it going. So, yeah, it's started up a good hot fire again. This is the second day we've been working on this thing, and it is 6 p.m. and I just put up a new stack of green wood around it. We've got just one little protrusion of the original bark and actually live wood remaining. After 3 days, we are finally done with stump burning. You can see a little bit of some edges sticking up yet, and there's a little bit of smoke coming off one corner, where the last very resistant piece was hanging on. What we wound up with is, well, basically about a yard diameter burn hole. In some areas where the wood was already dead, we did go down to mineral soil, and in other parts, some few pieces are still sticking up a little bit. Well, we're going to work these down with hand tools, I think. But to give you a little closer look, all right, you might see some hot coals there as that little piece is finally getting burned. A few pieces around the edges still hanging on. Okay. What we're going to do with this hole is we're actually going to make a little charcoal. We got plenty of wood, so there's no sense in buying charcoal if we can make our own. So look forward to that in a coming video.
I safely burned up this stump when conditions were wet using blown down pecan limbs. Now this removed yard debris and saved me the cost of having a tree service grind up the stump. For more information on my books, blogs, videos, and radio show, Hovey's Outdoor Adventures, go to www.hoveysmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye and God bless.